Sahil, first to you. All the top leaders on stage, the optics were fabulous. All the right things have been said. The difficult work starts now, and it looks like seat sharing talks are going to begin immediately.
Well, there are three takeaways for me from this particular meeting, because the first meeting, as we have been saying, that Patna meeting was a kind of an introductory meeting. A lot of people have not met each other. A lot of people have been opponents of each other, specifically Aam Aadmi Party, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, NCP, or maybe Shiv Sena. So it was an introductory meeting. The second meeting, gave it a formal alliance name, that is India. The third meeting was actually the decision-making meeting. It actually planned the future strategy for, this grand alliance called India now. The first things first. The first, to steerhead this particular India alliance, they have formed this coordination committee. Some decisions have been taken with a conscience. They decided not to have any kind of a convener because the message would have gone that if the Congress would have had its convener, in a place like Maharashtra, immediately the campaign would have started against Shiv Sena that, look, you have accepted Congress's leadership to fight against Prime Minister Modi and the BJP. So the convenership was dropped down. Rather than that, the 13 leaders coordination committee was formed. The 14 members committee, the CPM will give its name later. But that coordination committee is formed. The second takeaway from this is the inclusion of Sharad Pawar himself. Sharad Pawar has himself given his name to be part of this coordination committee. So specifically in Maharashtra's point of view, there was no clarity about what Sharad Pawar is going to do. Even if he has been saying that he is going to be with India Alliance, half of his party, more than half of his party has gone with the BJP. Despite that, Pawar now has made it very clear, underlying very clear, that he is going to lead the India Alliance partner as a coordination committee member. He is going to be with the India Alliance. That thing has been very clear. The third takeaway from what I can see here, and most of the speeches what they made in front of the media, is that now the time has come to hit the streets. Mamata Banerjee, who was not there, present there, she has to catch the fight, so she actually left before the press conference actually started. It was not a press conference, kind of a press briefing it was, because we were not allowed to ask questions. So Mamata Banerjee insisted that now the time has come to stop these dinner diplomacies, but rather than that, hit the street. Take up the issues of the people, show the people that we are together on the street, and that's what they are starting from the third week of the September, when actually the government has announced a special session to discuss Amrut Kal, and that is the time when the opposition parties are going to hit the streets. So, these are the main important takeaways. And the fourth and the last one, which is most important, which specifically the parties from Maharashtra and Bihar were pushing for, is to start talks about the seat sharing, who is going to contest how many seats, because there was a lot of confusion with respect to that. That is what needs to be finalized. The India Alliance, in actual alliance, will fight elections in at least 6 states, UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Bengal, and some of the states in the south, that specifically with respect to Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So these are the places where the seat sharing talks should start immediately, which Congress was not earlier ready, but now they have realized that if elections happen earlier, a lot of people actually said this also, that there is a possibility, including Nitish Kumar, made it very clear that there is a possibility that elections may appear earlier than what we are expecting.
And that is the reason, so and Sahil, that in fact is the reason why, there is no time to waste as far as these seat sharing talks are concerned, especially in those states that you've actually identified. Mausami, quickly coming to you, you're still at that venue where that press briefing happened. The motto, the resolution, everything has been put out. They've also talked about hitting the ground running. Like Mamata Banerjee says, the time for vibing and forging relationships is over. Now it's time for street action. So are we going to see, joint campaigns and public events, on the election battlefield in the next few days and weeks?
Surely, Shiv, and the India members can pat their back that so far so good. They've come here, finished 3 meetings. By the end of every meeting, they've been on the stage together. Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party hasn't run away as said by the BJP. There's no factionism. repeatedly, even Arvind Kejriwal today said significantly that none of us are after any post. They are issuing the same lines, humming the same tones and tunes. So perhaps it's an alliance that's just got going, and we'll have to see whether they can rough it out in the run-up to the election campaigns. But clearly, they're making the right noises. Today, several leaders spoke, and they were all taking the cue from each other. The body language, the bonhomie was for everybody to see. And they also spoke about agendas and ideas. Rahul Gandhi said that we are going to get a set of ideas. So there is an understanding. It's not only about defeating Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You'll have to get a set of ideas in place that are convincing enough. And perhaps at the crux of it will be this idea of Satyamev Jayate. You can see that we're at the same venue where they put up this copy of the Constitution, the Ashok Pillar, and there, Bharat Mata, Satyamev Jayate, where the venue is to remind the India members and in fact send in a message that we are here to in fact stand for the core values of India.
Very, very interesting. Lots of symbolism. The body language appeared to be there, but now the difficult part begins. Preeti, I wanted to bring you in. Rahul Gandhi said a very interesting thing. He said that he was very glad to see, during the course of the meeting, a great deal of flexibility, that, all the leaders, the senior leaders looked to be trying to forge relationships, and the rapport he saw was really good, which is very interesting and significant because, in the weeks leading up to this meeting, many of those differences have been amplified, especially in the media. Do you think, in your view, Preeti, that seat sharing will go smoothly? I don't think anybody expects it to go smoothly, but do you see any major pitfalls? Because this is the hard part.
Well, Shiv, I think away from managing the optics, because what the India Alliance was doing till now was manage the optics. I would think the Mumbai chapter of the India Alliance has proven to be, at least till now, the most productive. Why I say that? Because there's something tangible that has come out of it. Till now, there was, people were just trying to feel each other, get a fix on whether they can sit on the same table.
With each other,
But right now is the time where at least something tangible has come out. I think what's really big in terms of the biggest takeaway from this, number one, definitely, it's a fact the Congress till now wanted to wait for the winter elections before they even talk seat sharing, because they were hoping to get enough elbow room by making gains in these elections. The sheer fact, which was echoed by Rahul Gandhi as well, where he also said that we are going to move on immediately to seat sharing. The Congress recognizes, reads the writing on the wall. And possibly what went down yesterday is the entire buzz, whether one election, one poll or early election, all of that has enabled the Congress to maybe smell the coffee. Number one. Number two, they've all come down and decided they will fight together. It's a part of their resolution. Now, I'll give you an example. In Arvind Kejriwal, it's very rare that you would see a press conference, by somebody from the India Alliance where the one of the senior leaders, which was Atashi in this case, sit and say that my leader does not want to be the Prime Minister. He will not be the Prime Minister. So they are making a clear public messaging, very clear, that, this is not their worry. This is going to be the last of it. Number three, the sheer fact in 2 weeks from time, Shiv, that you're going to come out and the special session is going to go out. The India Alliance is going to be holding public rallies, if it actually gets down to it, which I think is what the plan is. But ultimately, what is the biggest takeaway? Look at that 13-member committee, right? There are chief ministers in that committee. It's a senior leadership. So they're very serious about the coordination committee. They've already announced the name of the subcommittees as well. There are 3 subcommittees. A campaign committee has been announced. A social media committee has been announced. A media committee has been announced. But when it comes down to the coordination committee, we were very right that there is not going to be a coordinator named. But who's the undeclared coordinator of this?
The convener,
Mr. Sharad Pawar, the undeclared convener of this 13-member committee. Now, will he take the role of a Harkishan Singh Surjit in 2004 and rally this UPA then, and now India Alliance together? Time will tell. But for the first time, Shiv, this alliance is making the right political noise in terms of tangible output.